What's going on? It's your boy Mixmaster B here, live from the MMB Radio Studios for the MMB Radio Podcast, where no topic is too big or too small. We talk about them all. And on the phone lines, I'm going to welcome in a woman who I have been dying to have on the podcast for the longest time. We've been playing tag, and I asked her, I said, when you come on, how do you want me to introduce you? And she said she wants to be known as a professional cock handler. So I'm going to make sure I stay true to her request. Miss Ashton Blake, the professional cock handler, how are you?
I am wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing fucking fantastic. As people may know or not know on the podcast, like we use Skype to do the podcast, and I set it all up, and I said, you know, we're only using Skype audio, and you're giving me this beautiful Skype video, and yeah, I'm just like, this is going to be a challenging podcast for me because, you know, quite frankly, nobody wants to see me. But seeing all of this on my screen right now, it's just like, geez, where the fuck do I start?
Hey, I'm giving back, baby. I'm essential.
You definitely are. I definitely need this.
I'm bringing the love.
So first things first, I mean, thank you for finally, you know, coming on the podcast because, like I said, I've been wanting to have you on for like ever now, and a huge fan of your work. And a lot of fans have been, you know, asking, like, when are you going to have her on? We got so many questions for her. So I hope that you're ready for a lot of some crazy questions that we've gotten from fans tonight.
Never.
So I guess first things first, a lot of us are in quarantine. And I've been telling a lot of people, you know, with our podcast, like asking them, well, what's quarantine been for you? Like, how's it been being locked up and in isolation?
The funniest thing is my life hasn't changed that much because I work out of my home, and other than traveling, obviously, for doing videos, this is what I do. I do live shows, and I know my husband's here, and he's like, I can't wait to go back to work because I've had enough of you. I'm like, I love you, babe.
How can you have too much of a good thing? You know, they say it is, but I don't think you really can.
I'm pretty good at that. I'm rather chatty. I think that's what drives them insane.
Well, and it's good though that you're on a podcast, because if you like to talk, that's the field to get into. But we're glad that you chose.
Yeah, my cats are answering me right now.
So. A lot of people want to know, like, obviously, like, you've been in this game for quite a while. Do you remember the first time, your first ever day that you were on a set? What was that a feeling like?
The first set, extremely nervous, thinking everybody's a complete pervert and they're not going to, like, this is just for their complete pleasure. It wasn't, but when I did work with Brazzers, I was amazed. Everybody worked like clockwork, and I'm like, well, I like this guy. It was fun. Hell, let's go.
Now, was it? I mean, it sounds so simple, and people say that, you know, it's just that easy to have gotten into the business. But take us through the journey of that. Like, where you like how did that all approach itself? Like, I mean, it's not something you just answer or help wanted at.
Just the way I am now as a cam girl. I was doing a lot of photos, you know, working the Twitter angle, all the different social media, and then all of a sudden, you know, Kieran Lee contacted me and he says, you want to shoot? And I had a really big decision there because I had to decide how that was going to impact me as a person on my private level. And then once I made the decision, I realized, you know, this is what I'm going to do. You know, I had a great time, but, you know, it does impact you on a individual level because your family and friends have to adjust to that. They're either your friends or not your friends, and that's when you really find out who is who.
Yeah, you definitely start finding out who is somebody that's supportive of you, that is loving you unconditionally, and people that, you know, are seeing you for, you know, different reasons. And it's good that you say that, because the fact that you put a thought process into that. A lot of people make that mistake where they don't think about, how's this going to affect my personal life? How's this going to affect relationships with friends and family? And they just jump right into it. And then afterwards, it's like, well, the shit's already been done. You can't reverse it. So what
Because
was
that's the one thing that when I meet new people that are in the business that are just doing this for, let's say, just mini vids, example, or whatever it might be, and they're doing videos, I'm like, remember that everything that's out there will always be there, and there's always that chance. So you have to be very honest with yourself. Are you prepared for that? And how are you going to deal with it?
now? How did your friends and family deal with it? I mean, naturally they were probably not so welcoming to it right away.
My husband knew that this is what we were doing because we've done this for a long time. It was for fun. And as far as family, it was more like, well, we don't like it and we'll pretend like it doesn't exist. That's really what it came down to. Because you can't change people's perspective. You can't change what people think. You have to, accept them for who they are, and they need to accept you for you are. And if you really love somebody, you're going to, I don't like what you're doing, but you know what? I'm not going to walk away from you either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty respectful.
Yeah, and I mean, I can totally relate with that when doing a podcast. It's, I'm talking about sex, talking about porn, and it's not something that, everybody feels comfortable talking about. And it's, it's kind of like, even in the year 2020, in the year of, pandemics and murdering hornets and whatever other crazy shit we got going
Let's
on.
go back to the bumblebees.
Yeah, I mean, they're left out. It's, there's so much crazy shit that goes on in the world, and yet porn and sex is still looked at as almost a taboo thing. It's like,
no, but it's essential.
yeah,
You're gonna do this.
Sex
This
is essential. I do need that to
is
live.
what it is. That's my favorite comment. It is what it is. I'm not saying that you have to like it, but it is what it is because it's been there for so long. It's not going away, and I don't even consider myself very extreme. I feel like I'm a regular vanilla kind of girl. I mean, pussy anal. But there's some crazy
I was
shit
gonna say,
out.
have you watched some of your stuff? Because I would say it's
Absolutely,
pretty wild and geeky extreme. I mean, it's
I don't know. I've watched a lot of things on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm like, well, you can't do Instagram. That's a bad example. But
yeah.
Twitter, I'll be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I have to watch it now because I don't even know what's happening. I want to see.
It's all for shock value.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
I'm like, wow.
Social media's turned into like, Twitter is like one big giant gonzo scene. It's just like you just do whatever the hell you want to do, and it's just if it works, it works. If it don't work, oh well. There's another 140 characters.
It don't matter. Yeah. We'll move on. We'll keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling.
So
I'm a quick scroller.
now you mentioned, and you're very open about that you are married. What's it like being married and doing what you do on a daily basis?
Well, I think the most important thing, and I stress this to my girlfriends, you just got married. I have some new married friends. I'm like, you have to talk about everything. Like, enunciate that. Because you have no idea what you are going to be interested in or would like. And I would rather be upfront and be honest than to lie. Because I had somebody try to just recently scam me on PayPal. And they're like, I'm going to turn you in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm like, well, honey, I don't lie. And what I told you was the truth. And if that transaction's not there, this is what it is. So I think what's important is not to lie about what you're doing, because in the end, it only can turn out badly.
Yeah. You can only cover so many lies with
people
lies.
Don't like what you're saying. That's really what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. People don't always like what you have to say, but the truth hurts sometimes. It is what it is. There you go.
Well, there it is. Back to that saying, it is what it is, And one of the things that I always tell people when I do a podcast is that, it's morally, you may not like what I do, but what I'm doing and saying, as long as I'm not promoting hate, I'm not promoting violence or ensuing any of that, I'm not breaking the law. We're talking about sex. Sex is a form of love. So I look at it as, we're not.
That is happiness, man.
Especially when you've been cooped up in the house for, months on end because of this virus, like.
I really get upset when I find that I have say somebody comes to see me on a Skype show and they're like, well, you know, my wife is this and that and whatever. I'm like, that's dangerous because it can cause a lot of animosity between people. And it would be nice if, well, at least be honest with her. Like, I like to do this and just get it out in the front. Don't be in the back, because I think it's just a dangerous potion.
Well, some things we like in the back.
And I do, and that might happen after this podcast, just so you're aware.
So being transparent with your husband that, you know, this is what we do, this is the life that, you know, I live and everything. Have you had any, like, not to get too personal, but have you ever had any instances where this may have caused a little bit of rift in the path, or has it always been because, you know, we're 100% clear with each other, it's a good road?
I've never had a problem with it. If he has, I wouldn't know. But I mean, like, I think the best example would be, because we're swingers and we had in the lifestyle, we had a really pretty blonde girl that wanted to have sex with him. She had like a daddy thing. He's a little bit older, so, and I thought to myself, I don't care. As long as you tell me you're not fucking in my bed, you can do whatever you want. Go do it in the other room. I have a weird thing with my pillows in bed.
Yeah, don't mess up the pillows, you know what I mean? It's just like...
No, I just don't want jizz on my pillows.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really simple.
It's like the Three Little Bears. You feel like somebody's been laying in your bed,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can just tell.
Your porridge spot.
Somebody blew a load in my porridge, you know? Like, yeah, that's not good.
No.
So, a couple of questions that we got from fans, and fans, they obviously know more about you than I knew. They were coming in. Well, maybe you can, you know, put some of these to truth or not. One person says that they knew that you did the swinging lifestyle, and wanted to know, has this whole virus, has it stopped you from touring?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I'm not even shooting anything.
Okay.
And you know, you could. I mean, let's face it, you could. But on a basis of just being a good person, I can't see that it being a good idea to being with multiple people. Right now, you need to focus on what's most important, everybody's health. So I'm not doing that at all. Like, I could be set up with doing videos for OnlyFans and you know, etc., but I'm not, no, I just think it's wrong. It's just, I want to bring this up because it's something that I think is important. I don't like people that go to the food bank and you're driving a fucking Lexus. If you can afford the Lexus, you can afford to buy food. So
Yes.
That to me is something that's really socially wrong, and I won't do it. I'm not, I have enough money. I'm not poor, but I'm not like well off. But the point is it's wrong. I want to see people have what they need because they need it.
Yeah.
Not because you just, I'm going to go down there and just sit, or just get even the same thing with dog food or cat food. Can you afford to pay for your cat food or dog food? Don't do that. It's wrong.
Yeah. And
I know it's coming from porn star. People are like, she's
no,
like,
I mean, I totally get what you're saying, because I always said the same thing pre-COVID-19. I used to always say the same thing about when I would see people waiting in lines for hours to get the new iPhone or a new pair of Jordan sneakers, and they got to the store riding the bus. Like priorities are just, you know, maybe a little bit different, but, you know, it's like if you can have the money to spend on sneakers and phones, yet you can't go buy or, you know, afford a car.
I will like understand because it's very, you know, important, but yeah, the shoes, silly.
Yeah.
Cars, if you're driving a Lexus, man, wrong.
And you're going to go get some free food. Yeah,
go get
definitely.
some noodles and freaking mac and cheese and tuna cans.
So I know, like, seeing your presence on social media and everything, obviously, you know, you're tweeting out different things like your OnlyFans and stuff like that. You say you're not shooting. Has this affected you, like, financially? You say you're not poor, but you're not well off.
No,
Like,
because well, when this first happened, let's go back to January and February. Yes, it was like I'm looking at my everybody did that.
mhm.
But I mean, I don't live beyond my means, so it's not a problem. I live within it and I embrace it. So the only thing I really miss is maybe getting my nails done, being a little bit of a diva. And I really would like to get my hair done. But, I'm not that selfish to think that, I can do without it. It's okay.
Mhm. Now, being in the business and shooting, how often were you shooting prior to the whole outbreak? Was it something that?
I actually, because of family events, I had a family death. I couldn't shoot. I lost my agent. And now I don't even expect to ever get my hands on another agent to be able to book me, because right now it's so flooded that I don't even feel that it's even an option. I'm going to continue to cam. I'm going to continue to do my OnlyFans, and I'm just going to roll this out. I'm not, concerned. Sometimes you have to just roll with the flow. And again, it's back to it is what it is.
And I noticed that a lot of the talent that out there that is no longer shooting, and just like everything that's in this world is going to change after this is all said and done.
Right, it's dangerous because, I mean, yeah, sure, I have a lot of people that I think I can trust, but there's only this small little bubble that I would be in that I would even trust, because I'm not into making myself sick to bring it home to my family, to bring it home to my friends, and then I'm just being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's not going to be beneficial, I think it's just be smart, just kind of deal with it for what it is until we get something. And I'm sure they'll get a vaccine at some point, but we're looking at a year plus.
Yeah.
But when they do, it's going to be awesome. But we're also going to learn that it's time to change. We're going to have to change our lifestyles. But I'm not scared of it, because I feel like we're strong people and we can do what needs to be done.
And the one thing that I compared it to is, and I've heard other people say the same things on the news broadcasts, is that it's like right after 9/11, how we just had to adjust of how we travel. Before 9/11, pre 9/11, airports in and out wasn't a big deal.
What's weird about 9/11 is I can remember where I was, and I was working a regular 9-to-5 job, and I looked at the TV and I thought, is that real? You thought it wasn't even on regular, 2 and 4 or whatever. And I looked and I thought, and this is awful, because I felt very traumatized by that, because I felt like our government had lost. They had failed us, because I felt like the United States of America would be better at intel to see this shit coming. And I was very upset about that, but that's another story.
Yeah, well, that's why I said a lot of this is going to be compared to that, about, how our way of living and thinking and the way we just adjust and change things is going to change. And the point I was starting to get is that a lot of the talent have told me that, they're not shooting for big agencies and big companies. They're focusing on OnlyFans and their own content. And I'll ask you, do you feel that after this is all said and done, that these big companies are going to have a hard time shooting talent, because talent doesn't really need them? They're showing that they can do it through OnlyFans.
No, because they'll have the numbers to pay for the check that brings them back. I'm guaranteed that the very high-end girls that shoot very often, which I don't, are going to get, they're going to get good contracts, because people aren't going to want to go away from Brazzers or Naughty America. And that is just the way it, people still want their porn. We talked about it being essential. It's very essential.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you said that you don't think that you'll get another agent. Did you ever think of maybe self-representing yourself to do it, or are you just not even focused on it?
It's very difficult, and like I said, maybe because I'm in the MILF category, it might be slightly easier, but I had a hard time booking myself. So
What was some of the hurdles that you had as far as booking yourself?
Oh,
I mean, you know yourself better than
just
the agent would.
communication in general. Like, say you contact a higher end production company, they look to see how popular you are, if it's worthwhile for them to shoot with you, and then if it isn't, then whenever you're staggering off when you're not shooting, it makes you less popular because you're not available.
Mm-hmm.
But
No.
I made decisions based on my lifestyle and my family, so I don't feel bad about it.
Okay. Now, is there anything that you miss from working with big name companies?
I think it's the exposure.
Okay. So just the name recognition of a company like a
Yeah,
Brazzers and Sony
yes.
America, like their
Yes.
name carries a lot of weight in the business.
Exactly, because it helps, because it's such a popular site. You're going to see there's going to be more views. Now, there's different sites that, I could run more video on, but I'm really loving the OnlyFans because it's been doing well for me. So I can't complain.
Neither can OnlyFans. I think they're loving the increase of people accessing their platform and people putting content on there. Now, a couple questions we had from the fans. One guy asked, you want to know, what was something that you enjoyed the most about being in the adult business as far as like working with big companies?
Big companies, I think, well, let's just face it, I had a nice dick. If we're going to simplify it to the most simple thing, really handsome men, wonderful, great charisma, great communication, because, I mean, you meet a person in the morning at 10 or 11 a.m. after you get your hair and makeup done, and then all of a sudden you're fucking them like an hour later. You better hope, that they have, great charisma. And I think that's a good answer. Charisma is a good answer.
All right. Another fan wants to know if there was anything that you could have changed in your career that you wish you would have done differently.
I think because I know myself a little bit better, that I would have drawn some boundaries on the things that I like and dislike sexually. I felt like if I wasn't open to certain things, that it was going to work against me negatively. And if I had focused on just those things that I really love, it would have made me even more popular because I wasn't outside of my safety zone.
Now, what are some of the things that you did not enjoy doing or don't enjoy doing?
Well, I have totally taken off pegging. Well, because I'm a cam girl, and I'm like, why am I doing this if I really don't like it? Pegging, small penis humiliation. Any type of humiliation. I just don't like it. People look at me because I have tattoos and I'm older, that I'm going to be good at that. I don't like it. I don't want to have to do that to somebody because I want you to value yourself, and I don't like to devalue people.
Yeah, we definitely need more uplifting stuff going on. I mean, you
Even
can listen.
I look like, they're always like, oh, you would really be this.
You look fucking amazing. Like I said, this is a treat for me right now.
You look like this. And I'm like, well, where I'm at is I'm comfortable with the mommy role play. I'm comfortable with, BBC, like Dirty Talk. I think my, level of, my Dirty Talk has reached a new level. So that's where I'm at.
Well, like I said, it's a treat for me right now that I get to see you on the Skype when we're doing this, because I was not expecting this. And I said it kind of threw me off my game a little bit, but I'm a professional. I'm going to truck through this here. So we're going to go with the next question we got here.
Life is difficult, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I'm doing this to you.
It sucks that I have to be stuck in the house, doing this. All sarcasm. Yeah. Fan want to know, you mentioned you have a lot of tattoos. Fan want to know, how many tattoos do you have? Or, I mean, you see the arm sleeve you got there. Is it just a continuation?
My whole back is done. I'm just everywhere. And then, of course, I call it the gift that keeps giving. Mm-hmm. I have a bow on my butt. Some people like it. They'll be like, I don't know what that is. I don't like the way it looks. I'm like, well, that's okay, because you don't have to like it, because I have it.
Yeah, you definitely are testing me. You really are. As she shows me the text.
Such an evil woman.
All right, next fan wanted to know. He says you have an amazing physique. What is your daily routine for staying in fit condition? Do you have like a diet or a workout plan, or like how do you stay so fit?
So I'm going to be completely honest. Right now, we are on the down slope of whatever. This is called quarantine nothing. Like, I cannot motivate myself to work out in my house. I have workout equipment right next to me. I've tried 4 to 5 days a week to start working out, and I'm like, hate it. I love going to the gym. Love it. I don't know how I feel about the gym yet. I haven't embraced it, because the gym brings a different kind of motivation that your basement does, because there's nobody here. It's just about being there. And it's like you have your gym family. So I really miss that, and it makes it's in this social thing too.
Now, where you're at, have they opened gyms back up yet, or no? Okay, so you're still waiting it out.
I'm going quarantine life right here. We're gonna go yellow. I don't know what every other state's doing, but red, yellow, green. Yeah. So we're going yellow on Friday, but that means the gyms won't be open, and I really don't know how they're going to handle it. I'm kind of hoping, in my perfect world, that I could just I'm hoping they'll take okay, you're coming in at this time, and they put your name in there, you swipe your card, you come in and you work out. Mm-hmm. That's what I would like, because then I never ever liked it when I was busy anyway, because I always went in the afternoon, because you either have the morning people or the night people. I went in the middle of the afternoons. I work in the morning till 1 or 2. I would get to the gym before you've got the after work people that work till 4 or 5, so I could do my own workout, and I was always happy with it, because there weren't many people to oh great, somebody's on this machine or that machine. I would just do it.
So they almost have to do it by appointment.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do, but who knows? I downloaded my app, and I'm ready to find out what I go to LA Fitness, and they're big, so I'm sure they're already in meetings to try to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, we've seen some craziness going on in Philly today, with people protesting, and then you got counter protesting, and it's just
you're not going to stop anything. You can protest if you want, but if the governor wants you to stop it, you're not going to do it. I mean, that's just it is what it is. Back to that, because I think a lot of businesses can open up, and I think they can do it with restrictions. My argument is, I want to go get my hair done, and I want to get my nails done. Mm-hmm. But, well, how about we all go by appointment? You can't come in until they text you. Okay, you're in your car. Somebody leaves the building. You come in. You put your mask on. You do whatever you do.
Or give time in between appointments for them to clean things down.
Exactly.
You just can't just roll up in there whenever is convenient for you. You have to make appointments. In the business, Guy says, what is your most memorable moment in the business to date?
Okay, glad you asked that. So, I have never done a scene in my whole life, and when I went to Brazzers for my first film ever, I sucked at lines. I know that. I'm aware of that. That's fine. First time ever. I'm not an actress. I just did what they told me to do. And I got through the verbal part. Oh, now it's the sex part. And I was with Kieran Lee. And he's like, well, just follow me. I'll guide you. Because I didn't know all the positions that they wanted you to hit whenever you were doing a video. Reverse doggy, regular doggy, missionary. But they have a what they want to see. So I'm like, okay, well, you just, tap me or tell me and I'll flip and I'll move. I can listen to you. So he was kind of like in charge. And so I've never scored. I very rarely am a squirter ever. And we were like in the missionary style. He's fucking me. And then he starts playing with my pussy, finger my pussy. And I squirted, and I'm like, oh.
So this was unpredicted.
Yeah, unpredicted. Like, wasn't like something that I ever thought I would do. And I'm like, I thought it was fantastic. And I'm like, oh, should I have done that? Because then I felt bad about it because I wasn't quite sure if that was okay. And then we proceeded to fuck like on one of these little couches, and I'm trying so hard. I was falling off the side. He's fucking me off the side, and I'm like off the side, my legs up. I'm like, I'm going down hard. Like he kept fucking me, and I fell off the couch onto the floor, and I'm like, I kind of figured that was happening. But sex positions, you get into something and you're fucking, you're like, this ain't working. You'll stop. But this is a film, and I'm trying to do my best not to fall off the couch.
The show must go on.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, yeah. He's like, no problem. They cut it, and they did whatever they do. But I guess I was so worried, like, are they going to hate me now because I fell off the couch?
Well, you squirted, so they should be adding another digit to the end of that check.
Well,
that wasn't asked for.
He says to me afterwards, he goes, that's good you squirted. He goes, your acting sucked, but, you squirted. And I was
squirting
like,
we totally forgot you fell off the couch.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Hey, that's when you know it's good. That's when you know it's a good scene,
I was like,
tell us about something in your career that you would like to see changed, whether it be your personal career or just overall for the whole business that you would like to see something changed.
Okay. So, I can for a living. What's up with guys always telling you how to come? How come I can't just come? I feel like it's too overly complicated. You know what you need to do? You should fuck yourself this way and come for me. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not working for me. Do you want me to come for you? Or do you want me to just put this dildo in my hole? I think that's one of my pet peeves, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta fake the funk, just pretend, and
Well, yeah, but so much better when it's.
Yeah, but you want to get something out of it too. I get it.
I mean, if we're gonna do this,
So you mentioned the swinger lifestyle. So people that always are like confused of how like the whole swinger thing works. Where, do you have a club? Do you have a website? Where do you meet other fellow swingers?
There are multiple site communication emails, so you can join different groups. So across the country, there's different areas. So you base your emails out of the area that you are located, and then you do no different than anything else. I try to find people that are fit. A fit is a great word. Are you a fit for what I'm interested in and you're interested in, and being upfront about what you like and don't like? Because especially of new swingers that don't know what they want yet, so it takes time to evolve into that.
I was gonna say, so it's not just so simple as just meeting somebody and you doing it. Like there's actually like a chemistry that has to be.
Very don't care. Like there's different degrees of what you are swinging. Now, in our case, it's more relationship based. I need to know a little bit about you. I need to know what you're into, what you like, your dislikes. Are you rough? Are you so like? What do you want? And there's a lot of different things. It's no different than any other porn that you watch. Do you like black cock? Do you like white cock? Do you want, doggy? What do you want? Do you know what you want? And most people don't. And it takes a long time. Like the longer term people that we have created relationships with, we've had those conversations and can stay connected because we know each other well enough. And then sometimes you'll run into people that you just don't, it's just not fitting. And there's a lot of personality things. You have to realize that you've got a guy and a girl. He might like her, but I don't like her. Or I could like him, he don't like him. There's a lot of that. So you have to deal with it takes some time to really work through those issues.
So in a sense, it's almost like dating in a relationship.
Dating
Yeah.
on a higher level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because it's
like
now.
I say you and I were together and we went out. You're like, he's okay. She's really hot. But I don't care if she's really hot. If you can't get along with him, then I don't want people, you thinking, oh, what a dick. I want you to have fun too.
So what's like the turnaround time when you initially start talking to somebody or a couple? What's the turnaround time to making something happen?
Within 2 meetings.
Okay.
That somebody's either you're fit or not your fit. And normally when you're new, it takes longer. But when you're in it, in the beginning, I'm very straightforward. Like, my profile says this, this, and this. If you think that's not for you, then don't even reply. Because I'll tell you, that's not it. That's not what I want. What are you looking for?
Now, can you share like what you look for when you're looking to match with somebody?
I don't want to do that because then it just opens up a can of worms, because then now those single guys just all of a sudden became that profile.
Okay.
And then I have
so when you tip them off of what you're looking for, they either pretend or try to be something they're not.
Well, I'm talking about the podcast. I'm not talking about the emails in the sites. I'm talking about podcasts, because all that's going to do is open up a can of worms, because then I'm going to get people that think
they are what you're looking for.
You're going to have like a little opportunity there. And I never tell anybody that I'm an adult entertainer until after I meet you.
Okay.
Because I don't want that to be the reason why you want to be with me.
Gotcha.
I want you to be with me because you want me, not because you want what Ashton is.
Gotcha.
Because Ashton's a different person. I try to make it, safe.
So, like, what? Do people recognize you, like, out and about? And
yes.
How do you deal with those kind of people?
I haven't had any problems. I had one of the, like, very locally, be like, I think the one that bothered me the most is I went out to have drinks with my friends at a local bar, like only 5 minutes from my house. And he messaged me via email and said, I'm sitting across from the bar from you right now. Okay. So obviously I look across the bar and there's like couples and people. Oh, you look really hot in that, well, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you right now. That's called creeping. That's not called normal. If you were going to be normal, you would walk around that bar, you would talk to me face to face and not do that. Because I find it like, and what are you going to get? Maybe he thought he'd get in trouble because his wife's there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't even send the email then.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me at a later point. When you're sitting at the bar and you think somebody's looking at you and you're with your friends, of course I told every one of my girlfriends next to me, I'm like, try to figure out who it is because somebody just sent me an email. Not cool.
Does that happen often to you, or?
I've been at the grocery store maybe 2 times. What was the weirdest one? Trying to think. That it happened during the very beginning of the quarantine because I was at Walmart and they're like, you're Ashton. I'm like, hey, hon, nice to meet you, but I'm not gonna hug you. I'm like, dude, we're social distancing. You're nice and all that shit, but I wasn't up for it. So
what's something you still want to accomplish or do? I mean, pretty much done everything. I mean, do you still have like a list of accomplishments you'd like to achieve or things that you still want to do?
I try to stay relatively comfortable at this point. I don't have any goals are hard to attain whenever you're within this crazy virus quarantine stuff. My goal is to get out of it.
I think that's all our goals.
We're all trying, I want to get out of it and see the light. There's these well, now what can we do? I don't beat myself up because I don't want to create anxiety for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this is what I'm doing. This is what I plan to do, but I'm not going to put myself into that position that no, I'm not.
Did you have any goals or plans prior to the outbreak that you wanted to accomplish?
I
mean, now I know it's harder now to do that, but
I think because I'm more family oriented, I stay closer to home, and I try to keep it safe. And I was like that before this happened, and I was honestly very comfortable with that. As I've started different businesses up, and some of them didn't go so well. So you never know. Maybe some of the hobbies that I have now may turn into something that is what I would like to do.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is some of the things that you plan on doing, whether it be long term or short term? Like, what are some of the things that you, besides getting out of quarantine? Like you mentioned, business adventures. Like, what is there some things that you without giving away spoilers, because I know some people don't like to talk about a business adventure that they have, fear of jinxing themselves. But what are some of the things that, we can expect to see from you?
I honestly don't have any big plans. I'm kind of surfing the coast, babe. Honestly, I think my main concern is to maintain what I have and have a great life and stay healthy. And, I think things happen for a reason, and I'm waiting for this to kind of go away. And I could be anything. I don't know.
Time will tell. We'll have to watch and see.
Yes.
And one user, or Twitter user, he asked, who's your favorite person to work with in the business? Without slighting anybody else.
I know. Yeah, that's tough. I really loved, I worked with Exxxotica Productions, which is, they do Glory Hole Secrets. They did, they have multiple sites, but I had a great time with them. There was a good crew. That crew was amazing. Yeah.
Is there any types of scenes that you got extra excited about shooting?
Well, I did work with dogfart.com, and it was, it's an interracial anal scene, and it was the first thing that I've ever done, interracial or anal on video, and I had a great time. It worked out well. We had good chemistry.
What hobbies do you have outside of the adult entertainment industry?
Well, if I could have my gym back, but I'm like a social. I'm more like, I call it domestic diva. Cooking, crafts, woodwork, gardening. I would put myself into that normal vanilla category.
What's the best meal that you can cook?
Me?
What's your go-to?
My go-to.
You had to impress somebody with your cooking skills.
I'm not going to play around. We're doing steak.
Okay.
I'm not going to go overboard. I like steak. So.
Okay. I had a feeling you liked meat. I don't know why. I don't know what gave you that feeling. I just had that feeling that you liked meat.
Energy up.
Definitely. So another fan, he says that, I don't know if this is true or not. He said he saw you recently, and wanted to know I guess the point he was trying to make, he was rambling on. I guess the point he wanted to know is like, where can he buy merchandise of yours? I think he was talking about like, do you sell like used clothing and stuff of that nature? Are you like one of those people that is like okay with that? I've had guests on, they tell me they
I
don't
would
do
say
that stuff.
just email me at sexyashtonblake@gmail.com. Depending on what it is, I can kind of guide him, because I have my OnlyFans page, but they don't really allow merchandise to be sold. And so I normally take care of that on my own.
What's the weirdest request you've ever gotten from someone?
Wow.
Remember, nothing is too weird.
I think the scat thing is really weird. Like, oh, let me watch you poop. I'm like, nope, girls don't poop.
We only fart rainbows.
I know, exactly, right? Okay.
Rainbows and sprinkles. Why do you want to see that come out of my ass? You know.
I don't understand. That's it. Yeah, disturbs me.
This user asked, what celebrity crushes do you have? Do you have any celebrity crushes?
Tons of them. Oh goodness.
Well, who would you like to shoot a scene with?
Where's
Whether it be guy or girl.
I haven't done a lot of girl scenes. I don't know. I think a lot of the guys that I would like to shoot with are already out of the industry, so
Well, even if they're not in the industry, what if they're just, regular celebs?
A few just random, but I can't shoot with anybody now anyway, so I'm kind of like cutting that avenue off for now. I don't want to give that away. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Maybe that's a reason for everyone to come to my OnlyFans, the real Ashton Blake, and find out.
I was going to say, where can people stay connected with you online? I mean, a lot of people do all the social media stuff. Run down where everybody can cyber stalk you.
Well, onlyfans.com, the real Ashton Blake. Right now, I'm giving a free trial period if you want to come in. Now, my Twitter is sexy Ashton Blake, and the story behind that is actually there is a very popular basketball player that's named Ashton Blake. So if you look for him, you'll find him. If you look at sexy Ashton Blake, you'll find me.
Yeah, definitely. The basketball player is not what I'm looking at on my screen. I see basketballs, but I don't see the basketball player.
Right.
Guy wants to know, if you could change anything about yourself, what would you like to change? Whether it be physically, personality, like.
I don't know. I'm pretty well comfortable. I mean, I'm the way I am. I can't change who I am. So, I mean, a lot of people will make fun of my accent sometimes because I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it's kind of like, where are you from? Where are you from? Are you Jersey? Don't call me Jersey. I'm not Jersey. Do you ever just find yourself like, you've been from an area for so long that this is who you are, and that's just what I do. I'm not going to question who it is, and if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it.
I'm from the Philadelphia area, so believe me, I hear it all the time. People are like, are you from Philly? Are you from Jersey? Are you from New York? I'm like, no, I'm just, it is what it is. It's that accent that I have.
I'm very comfortable, so I don't give a fuck. Easy stuff.
So someone wanted to know, and I have to note that I think this is the first time that we've ever had MMB radio where we've had a nice little soundtrack playing in the background.
That's chillaxing.
Chillaxing music that you got going on. And someone wanted to know, what kind of music do you listen to?
I like the chillaxing because it's something that I don't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm really into it right now. It's just kind of vibe. I when I'm doing my shows, this is what I listen to. I have a wide variety, and I have very diverse, choices. For a while there, I was listening to reggaeton, and everybody's like, "Are you Spanish?" I'm like, "I look Spanish, but I'm not."
What is your nationality for people that ask?
I'm fine with it. Dubstep. I don't care how old. I know I'm old, and I'm okay with listening to dubstep. So if you don't like it, that's good. I don't care.
Now, what is your nationality for people to ask? You say people mistake you for being Hispanic.
Or Italian, Greek.
Okay.
No, I'm Slovak and German.
Oh, okay. See, I would have thought Italian. You know, I definitely know. I knew you weren't Hispanic, but I would have thought Italian.
Well, when I'm darker, you could, the cooch gets pretty dark.
I was gonna say when I met you at Exxxotica a couple years ago. I mean, your tanning game must have been on point because you were like, I mean, I'm Irish. I'm already pale, you know. But geez, like I look like invisible compared to you.
Right.
So everybody looks at that picture like, oh my god, dude, like you look so pale. I'm like, no, I was like, Ashton's just very dark.
No, most of my friends, I remember going to the gym one day and a friend of mine's like, where were you? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you're so dark. I'm like, I don't know. It's got dark. Sat outside on my porch for an hour.
I was gonna say I did see some social media posts of you getting some sun tanning on outside, and I guess the question I was gonna ask that is how does your neighbors do they know who you are and what you do? And
who knows? I don't care.
Sure, I really don't give a fuck.
It is what it is. Back to that.
Back to that saying, you know, you gotta get you a shirt that that says "It is what it is," you know. So,
go ahead.
Just a couple more questions before we let you skip on out of here. Fan wanted to know, on a normal basis, on a normal day, how often are you on your social medias doing shows? Like, how often do you schedule these live shows?
Well, my camp shows, I try to stay on Monday mornings, Tuesday nights, Thursday morning, and Friday nights. So I have a little variety because some people want to, they're getting away from the significant other. Maybe they want a nice early morning playtime, or they're in the office. It's amazing how many people come in and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to do a show because I'm at work." I'm like, "You're at work? Oh, you perk." You're at work.
Well, they're working from home right now.
Office with the door closed. And then there's some guys that are just like, "Oh, everybody's away from the house, so I have a little bit of time. Spank one off."
Yeah. If it's not safe for work, when work is at home, it makes it all safer. So when swinging and everything and doing the cam shows and being in the business, do you still find time for intimacy with your husband? Like do you still have that?
Oh, yeah.
That feelings for it?
Oh, yeah. We have something planned after this. Another shot of tequila, maybe. Might be. He's probably wondering why it's taken so long.
What is your go-to drink? Is it tequila or whatever's available?
No, that's not the truth. If I'm just going to have a beverage, it's probably like Tito's soda and lime. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. I know you have a very busy schedule, and everybody can check you out on your OnlyFans. Let everybody know again where they can find you at online. And then anything you want the fans to know before you get out of here.
No, I think we went through all that. The OnlyFans.com, The Real Ashton Blake, and my Twitter at Sexy Ashton Blake. And then, of course, my Instagram, which is The Real Ashton Blake.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us. This has been like a dream come true to me. And like I said, I wasn't expecting the visual aspect of the podcast, but I'm so happy that I got to see, all of that. See, jeez. People don't realize how lucky I am sometimes. But we appreciate you coming on and talking to us, and we've got to have you back on the podcast, and hopefully once all this virus stuff stops, we can get you and do a live in-person interview and go back to some kind of normalcy.
Absolutely. Have a good night, babe. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Take care.
Hey, it's Ashton Blake. I'm here with Mixmaster